Hello Capricorns, welcome to your August of 2022 Taroscope with Animal Totem. I'm Vickieverlie, the Rock and Roll Prophetess, and you can find me at vickieverlie.com. Do not be fooled by imposters. So we are going to do card readings, we'll get there, but I wanted to do a little extra bonus thing this month for everybody because we are having this huge thing that's happening in the sky and the planets, and that is the Uranus North Node conjunction. It's in the sign of Taurus, which is your fellow Earth sign. For everybody, this is, propelling us into the next dimension of, to infinity beyond, up to the next level, into outer space. And I'm not surprised that they just announced, NASA just announced this James Webb telescope. If you haven't been following this, do check it out. I've always been into it. I was a Hubble telescope freak from day one. I love those imagery, and this is, they're showing side by side with the Hubble and the other, and the detail. It's just so much, and just think of all the discoveries that could potentially stem forth, burst forth from the discovery of this, this James Webb, or not the discovery, but the unveiling of this new technology in the James Webb telescope. And so to me, it's so exciting and thrilling. And I think it's very much the epitome of the positive things that can come from the Uranian energy. Yes, Uranus is unstable. Yes, it can cause turmoil. And, a lot of the things I've been hearing out there, everybody's, oh, Uranus, oh, the big boogeyman, ooga booga. Be afraid of the big, oh, don't be afraid of Uranus, because Uranus is the future. Uranus takes us into the future. And so what's happening is in the sign of Taurus, this Uranus node conjunction. Here's you're Capricorn over here. Now this will pertain, this part of the reading specifically, the wheel that I'm going to talk for a few minutes before we do the cards. This is going to be, you'll get a lot more out of watching your rising sign on this reading, because I'm going to be referring to the houses of astrology. I'm not going to get too out there, too technical, but just, if you do know your rising sign, make sure to watch that rising sign video for this part. Okay, so Capricorn, the sign of Saturn, which is your ruling planet. Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, and also the co-ruler of Aquarius, the ancient ruler of Aquarius, is moved into the sign of Aquarius as making a very hard aspect to this North Node Uranus conjunction. Both of these things, the Saturn and the North Node, have to do with karma. They have to do with fate. They have to do with the universe pushing us to follow our true soul's calling. Well, Uranus is more of the, Saturn is more of the pushing. Saturn pushes you, and then Uranus pulls you into the future. And this is true for everybody. Now, with you, the Uranus node conjunction is happening in the 5th house of creativity, love, romance, children. Major breakthroughs for you personally in these areas. Major, you want to maybe try new things, because this is very much, I consider it one of the relationship houses. It's because it's a relationship with your children and your romantic partners. These people you may want to try a new approach with. That could very much help you. You may want to try a different approach. You don't want to keep beating your head against the wall when these kind of things come forward. Uranus is showing you the new way. The Uranus is showing you the better way, the way of the future. And that's the way we're being called as a collective, because the North Node is where we're going as a collective, individually but also collectively, into the future. The Saturn has moved into the 2nd house of our Capricorn friends, so Capricorn rising friends particularly. And so that could be, sometimes this could affect our money. This could make money more difficult. Some avenues of, income may be drying up, but then new ones will be presenting themselves. Saturn can take a kind of a harsh approach. But being a Capricorn native, now this is true for Sun, Rising, Moon, anything. I'm a Capricorn myself. Sun sign, and I have had, Saturn gets a bad rap. Number one, it's our ruling planet, and Saturn gets a very bad rap from the astrology people out loud. Oh, Saturn's hard. Saturn's going to punish you. Saturn, no. Saturn can be really cool, and I personally have had Many beautiful miracles and blessings happen on Saturn transits. I have, because it's our ruling planet. Because as a Capricorn, we've been dealing with Saturn energy our whole life. So it's not some, weird thing coming into our field. It's part of our very resonance, being a Capricorn. So, we can work with this Saturn energy. And Saturn can also give you rewards, karmic or dharmic rewards. It's karma for good or ill. If you screwed up, or maybe something bad could happen, yeah, that's a potential. But the other side of that coin is, if you've been doing good work, if you've been really trying and doing your best work, and big caveat here, and you're aligned with your true soul's calling, or the way the universe is trying to lead you in co-creation with your higher self and your own soul. It's not like the universe is this outside entity either. You're co-creating here. You're mingling with, you're co-creating. And even more so as we go into the future, into the space age, Uranian future, the age of Aquarius, then you could absolutely receive beautiful rewards. And it may come in the form of a financial blessing. Absolutely. It'll be different for everybody, but it could be. All right, now let's move over and get our card readings going. So again, this is the Rock and Roll Tarot deck, my creation. This is the 3rd edition, the nice small one. We're going to use that for the main reading today. Then we're going to follow up with a 2nd layer of cards, and we're going to use the good old Morgan Greer, a favorite. And then we're going to pull an Animal Totem card from our Beast Mistress Animal Oracle cards, finally. And then, if you're a level 2 Patreon supporter, there's going to be even 4 more cards pulled from the old school Rider-Waite deck here. All right, let's get shuffling for our Capricorn friends and see what's in store for the month of August. Now, that whole thing I was talking about just now, it's going to be exact around July 31st to August 1st, but I'm recording this in late July. We're in it now. And we're in it I would say all the way up to the full moon of August 11th in the sign of Aquarius. I'm going to say that that's going to be the peak time when we're really going to feel those effects of that planetary thing. Okay, and speaking of planetary things, I want to let everybody know that I am open up for the Ingress readings, available for a limited time, always real popular. It'll be available for a little bit more than the next month. So you can find that information on my website if you're interested. Capricorn, let's see. Let's see what's happening. Justice, very first card out. Let's come in a little closer. I just heard, come a little bit closer. That one's been coming in lately. That's like the first time that song has come through in recent months. Well, you got some nice cards here. Woo! Here we go, Cappies. Here we go. Yeah, look at this. Well, I saw that Justice. I'm like, oh, now what? Well, I guess I zoomed in a lot. Too much on that. I didn't realize. I was so engrossed in looking at, ooh, all these good, one card after another. Good. I wasn't looking up on that viewfinder. Sorry about that. So yeah, Justice. So some of you could be some kind of legal thing, but here's another thing about Justice. Oh, here's another thing about this deck before I dive in too deep here. If you see words or you see colors swirling around and your eye is drawn to it, that is your guides coming through it to give you a personal message. Go with it. Don't ignore it. And that's a lot about that Uranian thing. It's up here in the ethers. It's not always right in your face. You gotta, it's up here. So, Justice, yeah. Legal things could be contracts, so on like that. But, in some people, that's going to be the case. There could be some legal thing coming up that you're signing. Some kind of contract, legal, any kind of thing. Court cases, but also like maybe contract work. We got these pentacles up here, contract work. A lot of different things. A lease on a buildings, things like that. But karmic justice, I'm trying to say here, is justice is also often very karmic justice. So for, this is the end of a karmic cycle. And Saturn, we just had Saturn come through Capricorn in its home sign. So we haven't ended a karmic cycle. Whatever it is, it sure looks like it's going to be, we're all going to be happy and happy, joy about the whole thing. Because we're just, happy, celebrating, having a great time. Some of you, Six of Cups is here, so you're going to feel like your old self again. Some of you, it could be a reconciliation. It could be a reconciliation with one of these court card people here that we have. We've got 2 court cards showing up as the King of Cups, water sign energy, more mature, water energy of Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. And then we also have the Queen of Swords, air sign energy, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. You know, this Aquarius energy, we're having that full moon on the 11th, as I said earlier. So that could absolutely be something around that. And we do have a 10s and 1s, 11 numbers. These look like 11s, you know. So we do have that 11. It could be even lining up with that synchronistic 1111 portal. Just like seeing it on the clock, you know, that's what I'm talking about. Anyways, another thing about my readings, gender doesn't matter. This might not be a female, this might not be a male. But the water sign and the air sign energy, that you'll feel that, or that'll be a part of it. This might just be referring to that time frame of that Aquarius full moon, and you know, not always representing a person at all for some people. So, but I've got real strong reconciliation here. Could be some kind of reconciliation. Could be some kind of reunion, family reunion for some. You might be going to a family reunion or some kind of reunion, class reunion, even that people that feel like family, things like this. But there does seem to be a lot of happiness, a lot of positive vibes all around it. So, I mean, you got 10 of Cups and then the World. The World, to me, I know it's a completion of a cycle, and, you know, it can be this, too. You know, with the Justice, we're looking at a karmic cycle. Well, we are. We're dealing with Saturn and the nodes. That's karmic stuff right there. When I do the soul readings, those are 2 of the main things that I look at. But, you know, put the astrology aside for a minute. You know, this could also be, you know, something that's even bigger, better, more than you anticipated when it's with the 10 of Cups. Because you think the 10 of Cups is the 10, that's the ultimate. Oh, you ain't, the universe says, hold my beer. You think that's good? Wait, look at what else we got in store for you. The fabulous prizes. I'm seeing like Prices Right or something. Behind this curtain, wow, guess what else? Hey, that'd be great, wouldn't it, Caps? Ace of Pentacles, though. Definitely some new money coming in, which I'm sure, you know, Capricorns are always concerned about that and always want that. Things are going to start moving quickly. Whatever's heading your way is already in action. It's already on its way. It's already moving towards you at this time. That go really stands out to me on there, that word go. That just grabbed me. So go. Go, go, go. And it's echoing over here because we have that Magician energy. And that Magician energy is all about, let's take action, let's move forward, let's forge this path, let's take the bull by the horns. We have the power. I've got the power. I got the power. You know, he's got the power. And you have the power. You know, you got the power because he has everything he needs at his disposal. He doesn't have to rely on anybody. It's not to say that you're not going to be intertwined with other people, because that definitely is showing up, but you've got the power. You do have the Justice here, and you do have the Hermit. Now, when these 2 show together, this could be an attorney. You know, if there is some big, huge offer or some kind of huge contract or some big, you know, maybe it's just you're going to buy a house or a property even for the first time, and it's a big deal. You know, the World just means it's a big deal. You know, you definitely want to consult with an attorney or something like that. All right, so let's go ahead and get over here with these cards and start on the second part. So you are Earth sign energy, and so that would be the Pentacle people. So here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to shuffle these cards. We're going to start flipping these cards until we come up with a Pentacle adult card. That's going to be the Queen, King, or Knight of Pentacles, and that will represent you, be your significator. And then we're going to look at the cards surrounding that significator for more information and details. That is going to tell us the energy that's surrounding you at this time. King of Cups twice. King of Cups is going to be a real person, that I'm going to say, for a lot of you that's going to show up. King of Cups energy, water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. The King energy, because it's here and it's here if you're not following. Sometimes I get a little ahead of myself here. King and King. What is that? Kings and queens and guillotines. Do 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 do. What is that? Da 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 da. Aerosmith, yeah. Oh my, oh. If anybody wants to look that up, I think it is called Kings and Queens by Aerosmith. And I just don't, you know, if you haven't seen my readings, if you're new here, and you say, what's she singing about? What's all this about? That's one of the ways that my guides communicate with me. I'm a musician too, lifelong musician. Rock and roll prophetess is not just a moniker, it's, you know, who I am. So the guides come through with music all the time. And very often it could be a message, but maybe not even in the song title, but in the lyrics too. So that's, I think Kings and Queens is called by Aerosmith. But the Kings, what I was getting to, the Kings and Queens, I can't get that song out of my head though. The Kings are further along in their path, they're more mature, they don't play silly head games, they mean what they say, they're emotionally honest, they're sincere, you know, these kinds of things. I got this cute little, I think it's a pen, but it's going to be my new pointer at the dollar store. One of those checkout items. It's like, oh, I got to use that for my videos. And some of you are buying a house or something like that, or changing homes. Yeah, there, well, let's see. I'm trying, there you are. You're showing us the page. Now that's it. I'm going to put this over here, one more, and then we're going to put one more row underneath. It's interesting that you showed us the page. Or, sorry, not the page, but the knight. The young, you know, the younger court card. Because just how I said, with the king being more mature, more experienced, all those sorts of things, the knight is somewhat of a novice. The knight is still in training. And I know Capricorns, you don't like to think of yourself that way because we're the old man of the zodiac, with Saturn, we're the elders and all that stuff. But it seems like, you know, you're stepping into this new territory. They're saying, they're talking about a pond. Like, I don't know if it's that, what is that one saying of being the big fish in the little pond or something. So you're stepping into a bigger pond. Did you have the world? Yeah, you did. Yeah, you're definitely stepping into a bigger pond. I'm going to put that into your title, stepping into a bigger pond, or the big pond. And yeah, I mean, Capricorns, you will rise to the top. We know that about you. You know, that's a given. But you're still in training right now. You're stepping into new territory. There's going to be learning involved. You know, there's going to be, I'm feeling like a lot of joy involved also. I'm feeling like joy. But they keep talking about like stepping in, going in with the big dogs here. You know, the Hierophant is the big thing. You know, this is the big leagues. Maybe I should put the big leagues instead of, because big pond, that might not make sense to people if you haven't, not familiar with that specific saying, you know. Okay, you know, you might have a little bit of a crisis of the soul here. You might have a little bit of freak out, like, oh my God, am I, you know, what is that called? Imposter syndrome. You know, this could be like some imposter syndrome. It's like, oh my God, what have I done? What have I got myself into? I really don't, I don't know. I don't feel confident enough. I don't know enough, blah, 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 blah. No, don't worry about that. These people, look at this crowd that's all below you. And they're all youngins too. I mean, it might not be young in age and years. It could be, you know, just again, you're stepping into this new arena. You know, into the arena. I used to do that in a cover band. It's not an easy song. Is that the one? No, not. I was thinking of, there was another Rush song. Never mind, I'm getting off track again. Into the Arena is a UFO song. But anyways, you're going to be among these other people there. And I feel like you got the knight, two knights and a page. So you got they're all, you know, they're not, you're in the same pond. You know, it feels like a pond or a think tank or a small group of people or a small, you know, subset. They want to use the word subset. And but from this wheel, you're all coming together right at the right place at the right time. And again, that's very much the energy of this North Node stuff, right? Because that's aligning with our true destiny and everything. But it feels like there's a hotbed of creativity. Like this could be, I'm getting chills when I'm thinking about to say this, like those times you look back on, like, oh, you know, to be in Silicon Valley when, you know, Steve Jobs in there, or wherever they were from. You know, like you're right there at that, not exactly the inception, but kind of like that, where it's a new thing, something new is being birthed, and you're in there, and you're part of it, or you have the opportunity to be in there, and you have the opportunity, and you're going to learn a lot along the way. So that's really cool too. Okay, let me get this animal totems card going for you. I want to mention again, I am open up for the Ingress reading. I like to spread it out a little. I give a good month in advance so that I don't get pummeled at the end and I'm overwhelmed. So if you're thinking about ordering it, you know, consider ordering it early or not, you know. But I just want to let everybody know that it is available. It's always, these Ingress readings are always really popular. It's like a check-in, a seasonal check-in for the upcoming season. Look at astrology, and it's psychic reading too. Okay, but let's get our animal totem card for our Capricorns for the month of August 2022. The opossum. I love my opossums now. I used to hate them, but they always lived in my garage, and I was always trying to get rid of them for like decades. You know, I remember the one time, this big ass one. I happened to be up real early in the morning. I usually don't. I was letting the dog out, and this giant ass opossum is on my garage. And I mean, this thing is big, bigger than a small, about the size of a beagle, I would say. And the body, just the body, and then the big tail besides that, right? And I'm like, get out of here! Ah! I'm like freaking out, pounding on the door. Get out of here! Get lost! Get lost! And he just looks at me like, woman, please. And he just saunters down there's a space by the gutter and into the, you know, and he just goes back because he was getting home after the night because they're nocturnal, you know. And I just thought at the time, I'm going, that little prick. He just ignored me and walked right in there. Like, I'm not listening to you. But now, hindsight is 20/20, and now that I'm really, because they've always been here. They stay with me. Now that I'm really more acclimated into the possum energy and everything, I realize it wasn't a cocky look. It was more like, oh, you know, unite. You page, unite. You know, there was this wise spiritual, you know, it was definitely an old kind of spiritual energy. It wasn't, I don't know how, I'm not stating it correctly, but it was just cool. I see that was my teacher now. I see it as a teacher, not this pest that's trying to live in my garage, you know, this rodent, like a giant rat. I see it as this wise teacher. And, you know, the possum energy is very wise, and it's akin to the, you know, the hangman in the tarot. Let me read the thing here. Dreamer of dreams, seer of visions. Peace, or pause, create space for enlightenment and breathe. Keep your plans and ideas private. Know when to assert and when to play dead. Well, you know, there is this card here. It talks about the playing dead, and we do have the Four of Swords in there. I took it to mean that it's just going to take a minute, because Four of Swords is like a lot of times waiting. But it could also be like just, you know, this when to assert and when to play dead. I think, you know, and I feel like you might be the new kid on the block in this situation too. So even though with your Capricorn elder wisdom that you have in tow, you know, you have in spades, Capricorn, you may want to just lay back and listen at first. You know, you don't want to try to jump in and take over and be the boss right away, because we have that tendency. I know, I'm with you. You know, let's just get the lay of the land. You know, let's just feel it out. Let's just get the lay of the land and take it all in. But you will be able to contribute. But maybe, you know, don't rush in like gangbusters. You know, take your place of, I'm the new guy here. I'm the new kid on the block. I'm gonna, you know, get the lay of the land, get the feel of everything, and see how it goes before I. But this is where you want to be. Don't be afraid of this imposter stuff. You deserve this, Capricorn. If anybody deserves it, is anybody who works hard for stuff, Capricorn. All right, before I end this video, I want to real quick, I always, you know, show a few things. I have so many things available, which all contribute to keeping things free. But as it is back to school time, and many of you might be buying school supplies for children or even for yourself, consider these. I have these on Amazon. There's a link to it directly below, It's not under my regular book titles. It's because I have hundreds of these different styles, and it would just be too cluttered in the vickieverlie section. So it's under VV Creative, but there is a link directly below or through my website. But this is just a few samples of the notebooks that I have available, and I think they're like $5.99 or something on Amazon. So really beautiful. This one is a journal, so it's lined, and then I have some. The sketchbooks are not lined; they're just white. Plain white pages. But if you got back to school energy going on, consider if you want to be the cool kid with the cool notebook. Check it out. And one more thing, with the Uranus North Node, I thought that I would finally, I put this on my website a while back, but I wrote this book 10 years ago under a pen name, VM Lariv, being an anagram of Verlie, my little cute switching things around here. Which is my last name, Vickieverlie. Starseed, A Pleiadian Tale of Love. It's a sci-fi novella. It's like a short story kind of thing. It's like 150 pages or so, 169 pages. I wrote it like 10 years ago, and it needs some cleaning up. It needs a lot of it needs some tweaking for sure. But I was rushing at the time too, in order to I wanted to make sure I got it out before the big calendar alignment of 2012, that whole December, the Mayan calendar thing, because that ties kind of into the story. But it's a paranormal romance. I don't watch romance movies or read those kind of books, but I was kind of trying to do that because at that time a lot of that stuff was hot. There was like the Sookie Stackhouse books, and so, but he's a Pleiadian, he's not a vampire or anything, and the girl falls in love with him, but a lot of other cool things, and a lot of cool things happened while I was writing this. So many synchronicities, and this is before I was really openly channeling. I mean, I was channeling music forever, but I believe a lot of this was channeled. I was definitely getting major downloads about it. But here's the thing: check it out if you're interested. I just put it in the Kindle Lending Library. You can read it for free, and it's very inexpensive to buy. I think it's like less than $5 to buy too. But here's the thing: I always saw it as a maybe a movie or TV series or something like that. So if anybody out there is looking to do something with this on these lines and might be interested in some sort of collaboration or something, then definitely get a hold of me. I thought, Uranus, this is the time to come out about it. And there's more. I never wrote another book because it was a lot. And that's the first book I ever wrote, and it was a lot. So I never did write a sequel, but there's a lot more. I have a notebook, and we can go into we're going into time travel, we're going into walk-ins, and all kinds of other cool stuff. So anybody out there, interested in reading it, but again, maybe want to do something with it, definitely get a hold of me. Let me know. I just feel like I need this thing needs to come out now. It needs some cleaning up and some brushing up. I mean, it's rough. It's pretty, but I'd love to collaborate with somebody on it. All right, so that is your reading, Capricorns. Thank you so much for tuning in. Check out all the stuff. I have books, I have decks, I have all sorts of things, all available. You can find it on my website. By supporting me in that way, not only do you get something cool for yourself, like maybe a cool notebook or something, but I get a few bucks from it, and it helps me to keep creating these free videos month after month, year after year on YouTube, like I have been for so long. All right, we're going to have our Patreon peeps are coming up next. Thank you all for all your support. Please do hit that subscribe button. That also helps me out a lot with the algorithm, and as well as your likes and shares and comments. So have a great one. It's an intense time, but boy, you had a nice reading. The only thing is to fear is fear itself. And you got to get over that. Yeah, you might be stuck being that fish in the small pond, but what a pond it is. Looks like you're being called to it. Looks really favorable. Okay, thanks, Capricorn. See you again next month. Till then.